Hi everybody, my name is Barb Steinberg. I am a parent coach to parents of tween and teen girls. I'm a teen life coach to girls, and I am a speaker on teen girl issues. Today I wanted to talk to you about a recent parent coaching session I had, but actually this is a really common topic that I've talked to so many parents about, and that is the control. If you find yourself a little bit like me, I hate to admit it, but a little bit type A, a little bit controlling, where you like to have control, this video is for you. When they were toddlers and little kids, it was super easy to have control over them. And it made sense, right? Choosing what they ate and what friends they had and what time they went to bed and what they wore and so on and so on and so on. It made sense. But as they grow into adolescence, meaning growing more and more into young adults, and grown-ups, they need to have more and more empowerment, more choices to be made, and to feel more agency over their own lives. That's what they need in order to be successful when they leave the nest. So that can be really uncomfortable for us as parents because we feel like we know best, right? We know what they should be doing and what they should be eating and hanging out, who they should hang out with, and so on and so on. So giving up some of that control and that power can be really uncomfortable for us. It's also really uncomfortable for our kids when we are operating from a place of control because they're aware innately, their brain tells them to seek freedom and independence because they're aware in a few short years I'm going to be on my own and I need to know how to make decisions. I need to know how to do things myself. So it's not that we're losing influence. We aren't. But if we can lose control, we can have more influence. So I'm going to give you this example of this one parent that I was meeting with, and she was talking about, she really cares a lot about health, and she really cares a lot about what her children put in their mouths, and she wants them to have fruits and vegetables, with each meal, and she's, a stickler about that, and then, being a stickler about the phone and not wanting the phone in her room. And listen, I really, really get those two issues. I feel strongly about them as well myself. So what we were talking about is we talked about those values of hers and why those values were important. Then we talked about the other kind of side of the coin, which was she said, I really want my daughter to like to be at home with us. And I really want her to invite her friends over. And I want her friends to like to be at our house. I want to be involved in her life and see who her friends are and see how they hang out and what they do. And I want to be a home that is, desirable for other girls to want to come to. And so, we talked about jokingly. So if the girls are coming over for sleepover, we talked jokingly about the idea, would it be okay for one night for the girls to have Doritos and Twinkies? Will that damage their immune system and, kill every cell in their bodies because they're eating processed junk that's lived on a shelf for 2 months? So, no, obviously we know that it won't. But again, it doesn't mean that it's an easy decision for all parents. If that's really important to you, an important value, it can be really hard to, go to Target and buy all that junk food and let your kids have it with their friends. So we talked about that. We talked about the phone. Could you entertain the idea of flexibility? Being flexible with the food when their friends come over for a sleepover. You don't have to have a fruit when I make you pancakes the next morning. Or the phone. Could it be okay that sleepover night when her friends are over, they can have the phones in their room? Or maybe instead of taking the phone at 9 p.m., they can have it until 11 p.m. Some kind of flexibility that, and I said, you're bringing your daughter into this conversation. She's a teenager now. I think maybe this young girl was probably 13, maybe 13, 14. Bring her into the conversation. Ask her what she thinks. Ask her what she wants so you can get a sense. This is about negotiation. This is about compromise. That's a really important life skill. So you want to teach her that by having her do that with you. And with the phone, we talked about, could there be some flexibility around that on these particular nights that she has a sleepover, for example? Because she was saying, if other parents don't do that. They're never going to want to come over to my house if I take the phones. And that's a reality. It really is. And so I understood her fear around that. So I could see that, she was softening to the idea of flexibility because we talked about, do you want control or do you want a relationship? Nobody wants to be controlled. Whether you're a 2-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 22-year-old, an 82-year-old, nobody wants to be controlled. It doesn't feel good. We are human beings that are meant for freedom and meant to make our own choices and to decide what we like and what we don't like and what we want. In adolescence, that is one of their most important developmental tasks, which is identity. So again, bringing her into that conversation, empowering her to share what she would like, compromising, being flexible. Again, do you want to be right? Do you want to have control? Or do you want a relationship? So sometimes letting go of the reins and loosening the control, I would say always, really increases the loving, healthy, positive, open relationship that I think all of us are seeking with our teens. So I hope this conversation has resonated. You've been given some tidbits to just ponder and think about. Talk about it with your partner. Talk about it with your teen. Share it with your friend who you think might need to hear it. If you want to dive in further about your specific relationship with your daughters and what's going on in your home, I hope you'll reach out for parent coaching at barbsteinberg.com. I also hope you'll check out my online courses for parents on a wide variety of topics: how to communicate better with them, how to connect with your daughters more, how to help her with her friendships, how to teach her how to love herself, and so on. That's all there for you. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.